One guy shoots faster than the other. The one who shoots slower fights better. We'll add a third guy to the mix. Very fit. I mean, very fit. Can run 100-mile races. Can go for days without fatiguing. And then we'll add one more, a man that can squat hundreds of pounds, deadlift hundreds of pounds, scary amounts of weights. Who wins in a fight? There's the question. Who wins in a fight? Who outlasts the others? Who lives through calamity, through chaos? Of course, there's a million questions one must ask. And of course, all of those people will excel in one area over another. No person has the answer. You know, in this world, this community, air quotes, community of self-prepared gun people, self-defense people, etc., many of us, them, feel we have the answer, the only answer, the way. Martial artists feel their art, their craft is the way. My sensei, my guru, my teacher is the only one that has found the path. Our experience as humans is quite interesting. It's never linear. It's always in flux. There's ebbs and flows. There's high points, there's low points. And what might support your goal might not support my goal. What might support the endeavors that you've set forth might not support those for me. As we age, you know, if we tried to say everybody should be able to bench press twice their body weight, I'm sorry, there is few 80-year-old people that are going to be able to do that. The flip side of that is, though we cannot automatically say, well, I'm old, as such, I must just accept that I cannot do what I used to do and I'm going to fade away. Yes, you may not be able to do what you once could, but maybe there's some other stuff you can do. Think about this, the stuff that we're made of, the stuff that we came here with, this material that makes up our body, the flesh, the blood, the bones, the sinew. That raw material that you really have no say-so in, the DNA that you were handed by God, the universe, your parents. You do have a choice in how you sharpen, how you harden that raw material. You do have a choice in how you let it fade away or how you cultivate and continue to harden and make it better. That is a choice. Having a slight microphone malfunction. It is nothing but choices. Everything in our life is choices. Everything that we do is choices. Now, we could say I was born with this defect. Of course you were. This is not a contest. It's not who can shoot faster. It's can you shoot faster than you once could. It's not can you lift more than the next guy. It's can you lift more than you once could. It's can you continue to strive to make yourself better. We have a mental illness in this community. It's a sickness. It's apathy. It's laziness. It is self-dilution. It is self-bullshit is what it is, where we approach a problem and think only our solution counts. We can't go to this problem, whatever it may be. It could be fighting a bad guy and say, the only thing I need is my concealed carry weapon. I know multiple men who have run out of ammunition. Bad guys don't quit because you say they quit. They quit because either they choose to or something you did or another did physically incapacitated them to the point that they must. On that note, demoralization is not a good course of action. We must train to fight to whatever end is necessary to win. Where am I going with this? There's a reason that martial arts of any sort that's been around for a long time is deeply tied to philosophy, is deeply tied to self-betterment, because you cannot have one without the other. If we are merely on a quest to get good with a gun or good with our fists, those things will not always be with you. One must also remember or remind yourself, why do I want to be good with these things? You know, when I was a kid, I studied Taekwondo. I, like every other boy in the 80s, wanted to be good at Taekwondo because, or some other martial art, take your pick, because the TV and the movies were full of action heroes that did badass kicks and punches. And that's how you got the girl. That was sexy. That was cool. I fantasized about doing some awesome moves. And I can still kick things that are high in the air. Who cares? Who cares? It's meaningless. So as a young boy, it was an ego-driven goal. It was not truly to be on a path of self-betterment, of self-protection, of procurement of knowledge. It was because I thought it would be cool to look cool and do cool shit. You dig? So therein lies the truth of our truth. Z and I talk about this. Z talked about it at the last S12. And you know what? Unfortunately, and this will piss a lot of people off, many people in this community, I must take a step back. I am not coming to you now talking as if I am some bastion of truth. I'll return to that. But I know a few things. There are many people in this community that have awesome skills. Maybe they're skilled jiu-jitsu practitioners, or Muay Thai, or boxers, or kickboxers, or maybe they are skilled in the art of weapons craft of some type. That's great. But there are many of those people that are not good people. I'm not pointing names. I'm not naming people. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm suggesting that the development of some skill set, kicking, punching, fighting, shooting, does not make you good or bad. Nor does merely having that skill give you the skill to protect life and liberty. It is just a skill. Are you coupling it to a moral and ethical code with which you will need to have to deploy those skills in a way that you're not going to go to prison or hurt the wrong person? And this is like it's like a supervillain, right? They might have the power, but they do bad things with it. I think there's far too many people in this community that dilute themselves from the real task at hand. If it truly is to live a life of self-improvement, of liberty, of justice, and all of these things, of walking a path where you are improving daily, how can you improve if you can't look at yourself for what and who you are? How can you improve if you don't look at yourself for what and who you are? Here's the truth. 43-year-old me would beat the shit out of 23-year-old me. 43-year-old me is better than 23-year-old me in every way, shape, and form, except this guy's covered in gray hair. This guy doesn't have the same muscle mass. This guy doesn't have as good a skin. From a moral standpoint, an ethical standpoint, and a lot of other standpoints, I'm much better as a person now. That's what we should strive to be. That said, I could take a notebook and fill up 1,000,000 failures that I make on a weekly basis. Maybe not 1,000,000, but a lot. I fail constantly, but it is the process. That is the process we are under. We choose how hot to make the crucible of our life. We choose what to put into that crucible, who to put into that crucible with us. If you don't know what a crucible is, look it up. That is where the raw materials are smelted, where they're melted, where they're heated before they are poured into a mold and then beaten and forged. You choose what to put in there. You choose. Nobody else. Don't make excuses for how you were born, where you were born, for your lack of muscles or your lack of flexibility or your age. Whatever raw material you are made of this day, it is your choice and your choice alone on how to harden it, what to harden it to, what to sharpen it to. That is your choice. Don't give that up. Don't give up your right to choose, because that is all our life is. It is choices. And in the end, who will look back and say, everything I did was done for me? None of us. Own it, live it, be it, breathe it. Don't buy into bullshit, especially your own. This is Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Tell somebody that you love them. I love you.